Star Wars, George Floyd, and Jesse Owens are all on this day. Welcome back to On This Day. Today's date is May 25th, 2021. It is the 145th day of the year. There are 220 days left. It is the 21st Tuesday in the 22nd week and the 67th day of spring. How many days do we have till summer? 27! If today's your birthday, your birthstone is an emerald. Today is Towel Day. This means nothing to anyone unless you watched or read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy or any of Douglas Adams' books. Towel Day seeks to honor and pay tribute to the author, Douglas Adams. Douglas Adams was an English author best known for his work, The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. This day encourages people to carry a towel around with them in appreciation of the series. Many communities and organizations around the world promote this event. It's actually pretty interesting. The books are ingeniously weird. If you've never read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, never saw the movie, please do. As long as you like a little, weirdness and things that are silly. But with the science background to it, it's strange. All right, let's see what else happened on May 25th. 1935, Jesse Owens of Ohio State University breaks 3 world records and ties a 4th at the Big Ten Conference Track and Field Championship in Ann Arbor, Michigan. This incident, as they call it, has been called the greatest 45 minutes ever in sports. Jesse Owens, just the amount of records that man shattered it's mind-blowing. And especially when you consider the shoes and the clothing he was wearing back then, they were not near what we're using today. 1953, the first public television station in the United States officially begins broadcasting. It is KUHT from the campus of the University of Houston. You'd think it would be someplace like California. That just seems to be the hub of all television and movie stuff. No, it was Houston. 1955 in the United States, a nighttime F5 tornado strikes a small city of Udall, Kansas. Udall, whatever, killing 80 and injuring 273 others. It is the deadliest tornado ever to occur in the state and the 23rd deadliest in the U.S. Wow, 80 people killed and that's only the 23rd deadliest in the U.S.? I gotta look up what the deadliest was. 1961, the Apollo program. U.S. President John F. Kennedy announces before a special joint session of Congress his goal to initiate a project that will put a man on the moon before the end of the decade. And he pulls it off. 1973, the captain and crew on Greek naval destroyer Velos mutinied in order to protest the dictatorship in Greece. 1977, Star Wars is released in theaters. It was only released in a limited number of theaters in the United States. They really didn't think Star Wars was going to be that big of a deal. It only had a budget of $11 million, and it ended up earning $461 million in North America alone in the theaters. And I think it was $755 million worldwide. For $11 million, quite a good investment. This helped launch the careers of Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher and Harrison Ford had already done some things. Harrison Ford was in George Lucas's movie American Graffiti, but this put them all on the map as superstars. Now Harrison Ford's gone on to be Indiana Jones. He played Jack Ryan in a couple of the Tom Clancy movies, and just tons of other great movies. Carrie Fisher sadly passed away. She was a daughter of a famous actress already, so she was kind of already known, but this really turned her into her own thing. She was amazing. So for a movie that really, the critics didn't like it too much, and the studios really didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal, it's done pretty good. In popular culture, it's generated numerous references, like on The Simpsons, Family Guy, South Park, Robot Chicken, Clerks, Toy Story 2. Ted Kennedy even called Ronald Reagan's Strategic Defense Initiative, he called it the Star Wars program. In 1989, the Library of Congress selected the original Star Wars film for preservation in the United States National Film Registry as being a culturally, historically, and aesthetically significant movie. And then the second movie, Empire Strikes Back, was selected in 2010. Now, a little interesting fact about this, when they were selecting the cast, thousands of actors were assessed for the main cast, but George Lucas didn't care about their experience, who they were, if they were a big name or whatever. He wanted on-screen chemistry, and it looks like he got it. 1999, the United States House of Representatives releases the Cox Report, which details the People's Republic of China's nuclear espionage against the U.S. over the prior 2 decades. 2009, North Korea allegedly tests its second nuclear device, after which they conducted several missile tests and, of course, building tensions with the international community. 2018, Ireland votes to repeal the 8th Amendment of their constitution that prohibits abortion in all but a few cases, choosing to replace it with the 36th Amendment of the Constitution of Ireland. Movies released on May 25th. We already talked about Star Wars, but 6 years later, the third installment of the first trilogy, Return of the Jedi, is released. Brought back the same old cast: Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford. They were all in there. Not my favorite of all of them. My favorite was the second one of the first trilogy, The Empire Strikes Back. That's still to this day my favorite Star Wars movie. Born on May 25th, 1976, Ethan Suplee, American actor. He was best known for his role as Seth Ryan in American History X, Frankie in Boy Meets World, Randy Hickey in My Name is Earl, which is still one of my favorite television shows, and Toby in The Wolf of Wall Street. He's big, chunky guy, big, extremely heavy individual. Until recently, he started hitting the gym. He looks nothing like he did. Now he looks like this lean, muscular dude with a beard instead of chubby, lovable Randy from My Name is Earl. Good for him. Died on May 25th, 2020, George Floyd, African-American man murdered during a police arrest. He was arrested after a store clerk alleged that he had passed a counterfeit $20 bill in Minneapolis. After his death, protests against police brutality quickly spread across the United States and globally. He was only 46 years old. We all know this story. I just thought it was important to bring it up. I mean, we're still living this story right now in the United States. It's too bad. All right, that's today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you got some information out of it. Now go out, have a productive day. Be nice to each other.